How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Asshat Podcast on YouTube. And this is the next edition of a little series I started called What's in the TNA Brown Bag Music Edition. Now, this TNA Brown Bag, for y'all that don't know, it stays in my car most of the time. I keep all my CDs in it because I keep my CDs in their actual cases. I don't like CD wallets. I don't like that kind of shit, you know. So I needed something, and I can't seem to find those big cases where you could, big portable CD case where you put the CDs in their actual cases in. So what I do is I take this bag, at random I choose 6, 7, or 8 CDs, pull them out. I got a little stack beside me here, and just talk a little bit about them. So there's the bag. I've already pulled the CDs out. Let me set the bag down. Let's start off. And our first thing, Vagrant Records, fall of 2002 sampler. Odds are pretty good this was given out like Warped Tour. Warped Tour, if you don't know, it just ended recently. I think last year was the last run. It was a touring festival tour where it started off as mostly punk bands, but it started expanding where you had punk, you had rap, you had alternative, you had a little bit of everything. If it's not mainstream music or country, and even I think they might have had a country every once in a while, they'd be on Warped. It was always, I loved it because it was good, all ages, and it gave the kids something to do. I got to go in 2003 in Houston and had a blast. I mean, it was hot as hell, but I had a blast. And like I said, most of the time you got these for free there. I got this at a thrift store. You see one sticker on here says $1. There was another sticker over that said 50 cents, and it was half off day at the thrift store, so I paid a whopping quarter for this. And I picked it up because it's got Rocket from the Crypt, who I'd heard a little bit of and enjoyed, and Dashboard Confessional. The rest of these bands, Kofax, No Motive, Saves the Day, Reggie and the Full Effect, and Viva Death, never heard of them. And it's fairly simple, you know, it's just a little cardboard sleeve with a fairly simple looking CD in here, not for resale, promotional use only. 7 songs. And it's a neat way for the record label, you know, to introduce these people at Warped to a lot of different bands. Because a lot of times at Warped, you'd have people that, like the one I went to, I remember actually talking to quite a few people that they were there just to see AFI. This is when AFI was starting to become known to the mainstream public. There's a lot of people there just to see them. So they got to see other bands. Like when I went, AFI was there, Rancid, who, before the stuff went down between the lead singer Rancid and Brody Daly, I really didn't care for Rancid. Now I really don't like them. Dropkick Murphys, who were pretty entertaining. Andrew WK, who was entertaining. A bunch of other bands. This is not a bad little CD. I've listened to it once or twice now. The Rocket from the Crypt song was really good. The Dashboard Confessional song was really good. The other bands, they're okay. They're nothing horrible on here. And I just took a chance. I'm always looking for new stuff. All right, next CD. The Psychedelic Furs Book of Days. Now this is the 1989 release. It's one of the later releases from Psychedelic Furs, and as you can see, the case is coming apart. I gotta get some replacement cases, which are getting harder and harder to find. I might just, next time I find a bunch of CDs cheap at a store, like 10 cents a pop, buy them just for the case. Psychedelic Furs, 80s new wave-ish band. Am a fan of them, like their early stuff. I'd never heard this, but I got some friends who, one of them for her job had to go down into Louisiana for like a manager summit, and her sister drove her down there because this girl does not drive. And while she was down there, she knows there's a lot of thrift stores, so she went looking, and both of them, they listen to mainstream pop and country, and they listen a little bit. They've gotten into a few of the bands I'm into, but they know, they see a band, they never heard of the band before, and it sounds kind of odd. Odds are, hey, Newt's probably going to like us. They grabbed this for me. I don't remember what they paid. I do enjoy it. There's only like 10 songs on here. Just a neat little band. Definitely worth, and I've looked up, I know some bands, especially the later stuff in their career, is worth a little bit. Ain't worth nothing, but still worth listening to. Not worth anything monetarily. All right, next one. Now this one, it's a Family Dollar or Dollar General. But if you start watching these videos, you'll notice I buy a lot of my CDs at Family Dollar and Dollar General because they're clearing out CDs cheap now. It ain't like back when, a CD was 15 to 20 bucks. Nowadays, I don't like paying more than $5 for a CD. New. And I think I paid $5 for this. This is Super Hits Bob Dylan with Like a Rolling Stone, Blowing the Wind, Knocking on Heaven's Door, and many more. Now, to be honest, I do enjoy Dylan. On this one, I like Blowing in the Wind, Subterranean Homesick Blues, Like a Rolling Stone, All on the Watchtower, Lay Lady Lay, and Knocking on Heaven's Door. The rest of the songs on here, I could do without them, but those right there was worth it. And it's another one where the case is just cracked. And part of that's because it sits in this bag, but definitely worth grabbing. All right, that's number 3. Let's see what number 4 is. Oh, No Effects to Decline. No Effects. They would probably fall in my top 10 bands of all time. I really enjoy them. I like their style of humor. They're a punk band from Southern California, been around since sometime in the early 80s. They've been around for a long time. I got into them, shit, it was probably about 88, 89, 90, somewhere around there when I got into them. This is a single from them. This is a single, The Decline. When you open this up, this is the lyric sheet. This song is between 11 and 15 minutes long. I can't remember exactly. And they were trying to do like a rock opera, but as one song. Now, the only drawback to this, and one reason why this is probably coming out of the bag in just a little same room is, oh, I want to point this out first. So, okay. Pay no more than $11. Says that on here a couple of times because it's only one song, even though it's long. So they're trying to keep record stores from recharging people. The reason why I don't keep it in my car is, as you can see when I flip it over, that's how much data's on. It's like a mini CD almost, and the rest of this plastic's just see-through. So I got, of course, it's a car CD player, so you know. You slide in the little slot. It doesn't sees all this clear plastic, doesn't think it's CD, and spits it out immediately. But I have the song ripped on my tablet, my MP3 player, and all that. But just a great little song, and as far as I know, it's one of the longest punk rock songs out there. Got this. There's a guy I used to trade like VHS and just all kinds of odd pop culture stuff with, and his sister gave this to him, and he wasn't into him, so he's like, "Hey, I'll throw it in on the trade." All right, next CD. Ooh, nice. Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction Live. Now this one I did pay a little before. This was like $7 at Family Dollar. And what this is Megadeth did a tour where they pretty much played the entire Countdown for Extinction album in track order. And that's what this is. And I don't even know what the booklet. I never even really looked at the booklet. I think it's mainly just, yeah, it's just concert pictures. Countdown for Extinction was probably their biggest hit album. If I remember right, that came out when I was in high school and was a huge hit. But see the track list, and you got, you know, starting with, I think it's the third song. They start the album, Skin of My Teeth, and you got Symphony of Destruction, all the rest of them. Sweating Bullets, Countdown to Extinction. And Symphony of Destruction, that kind of reminds me, this show tells you when this was recorded. Just recently, WWE had a Symphony of Destruction match on Raw, and I was waiting for Megadeth show. Good album. Megadeth is really good live. I've seen them now twice. Yes, twice, because I saw them once on the Clash of the Titans tour, if I'm remembering right was the name of them. Then I saw them again with, it was supposed to be White Zombie opening for them, but White Zombie had to back out, and this unknown at the time band, Stone Temple Pilots, opened up for them, and the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Welyard, whatever his name is, he's passed away now, spent the entire concert, some of y'all might know I'm talking about, some might not, those paper megaphones you see back in the old days, cheerleaders talk through to magnify your voice. He spent the entire set singing through that, so we didn't understand a fucking word they said, but it was Megadeth afterwards. Megadeth's great. Good little album. All right, what we got next? Oh, God. The Bloodhound Gang, Hefty Fine. Parental Variety. Now, this came from what I call the good thrift store. His CDs are $1 a piece. I grabbed this stuff. I was a fan of Bloodhound Gang before Bad Touch hit. I can remember back when Firewater Burn, I think was the name of the song, was actually getting a little radio play. And we got, 12 songs on here. Strictly for the Hardcore, Balls Out, Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo, which, if you don't know, that's military slang for fuck. You take the first letter of each one. The least you could do, Farting with a Walkman on, Diarrhea Runs in the Family, Ralph Wiggum, Something Diabolical, Overheard in a Wawa parking lot. Wawa. Did not know what the fuck a Wawa was till just recently. Pennsylvania, tis, and No Hard Feelings. And this is, pretty sure this is their album after Bad Touch was a hit. I like this. This end up. But here's the neat thing. Now, of course, you always get your little booklets. We got the fat guy in the box there, and we open it up. And we open it up. And what do we get? A big fat guy laying on a rug. It's not bad. There's probably about half the songs on here are worth listening to. And I'm kind of surprised this didn't do that well, considering how well the album before it did. But Bad Touch was just the right song at the right time. All right. This next one is a reissue, I know. This is Ride the Lightning, which is probably my second favorite Metallica album. If I remember right, this is their second album. This is the re-release from Blackened Records, so after they got the rights back. You got Fight Fire with Fire, Ride the Lightning, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, Trapped Under Ice, Escape, Creeping Death, and the Call of Cthulhu, and they misspelled Cthulhu badly. Scissor. A booklet. There's a booklet. Okay. That's some old pictures. This was back when Metallica was actually good. It's back when Cliff Burton was in the band, and they were good. To me, that's a distinction. If Burton is not on the record and it's not called Garage Days Revisited or Garage Days Inc., it ain't worth getting to me. I'm one of those that, to me, the day Burton died, this band died. And as far as seeing them live, I've seen them twice. I saw them with the Guns N' Roses Faith No More tour, and then I saw them again at the 97 Lollapalooza. Actually, I've seen them 3 times, because I went to that Lollapalooza twice. I went to 97 Lollapalooza, but one of the times at Lollapalooza, I didn't see them for very long, because they were playing at the same time on one stage as the Ramones were playing on another stage, and of course, I'm gonna go see the Ramones, But this was found probably at Walmart. I see this at Walmart for like $5. Wanted to get a legit copy, because I haven't owned it in years. I had the cassette, back in the day. And since then, I've had bootlegs. Now, this was a Christmas present from a friend of mine's mother this year for Christmas. They do, for friends and close friends of the family, and then the immediate family, do a name draw, and you get that person a gift, and, try to save money. So she asked me, I told her, I was like, look, I made an Amazon wish list. She was going to order me this Blu-ray I wanted, but by the time she's on disability, by the time she got paid, the Blu-ray's out of print, because they only made like 1,000 copies. She goes, well, I'll find something else. I was like, well, give me this. And I told her, I was like, get it for me used, because it was like $1 something used. And she went in and got me a new copy. And this is the first time I've ever owned this on CD, which would surprise people, because people out there, I think most people out there that watch this and know me, I'm a huge Ramones fan. They're my favorite band of all time. I got lucky and got to see them 3 times. Once they were opening for Pearl Jam, and it was amazing. Then twice on that Lollapalooza tour. Sadly, I never got to see him with Dee Dee. Sadly, I never got to see him with Tommy or Richie as a drummer. I always saw him with Marky, and fuck you, Marky Ramone. Yeah, piece of shit. You're almost as big a piece of shit as Johnny, but this would be like the equivalent of Ramone's greatest hits. This came out in 1988. Damn. I knew I was in my teenage years. I had it on cassette for years, and I've had bootlegs. And it's 30 songs. A few of them are like different mixes of songs, or like the single mix, and the little booklet. And this is a Sire release. And there is a second volume of this. I think that only came out in Japan. I love this booklet because it's got, and the cassette had the same thing. It's got, the track listings, of course. It's got a lot of pictures, and it's got like a history of the band. But that's it. And if you like the Ramones a little bit but don't know where to start, this is a really good album to start with. There's plenty of, since Joey died and the other guys that were still around at the time kind of took control of the band, there was a lot of kind of greatest hits released. This is better than any of them, because you get 30 songs. It only goes up to 88, so you're missing. I don't think there's, as far as I remember, there either isn't anything on here without Dee Dee, or if there is, there's only 1 or 2 songs with CJ. And CJ's a good bass player. He ain't no Dee Dee, but he's a good bass player. Now, let's go backwards here. We got Ramones Mania. We got Metallica Ride the Lightning. We got Bloodhound Gang, Hefty Fine. We got Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction Live. We got NoFX to Decline. We got Bob Dylan's Super Hits. We got Psychedelic Furs, Book of Days. And then we got the Vagrant Fall of 2002 sampler. So, 8 CDs. Not that much money spent on them. All of them are worth listening to. Well, if you enjoyed this, give me that thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe, all that other bullshit. In a few more weeks, will be another one of these popping up. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.